In this section, we're going to work with charts and graphs to provide a visual representation of our data. To get us started, let's go ahead and look at that transactions data, and we'll start creating some graphs from there. Now, one of the first things that I want to do here is I'm just going to go through and hide some columns because I don't want to necessarily pull all this stuff in, and it just makes it a little bit messy to see and read. Now, the first chart that I want to create here is going to be the bar chart, and what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to display the total dollars that were purchased, and then I want to make sure that when I display this, I'm grouping it by the order date. To do this, we're going to go ahead and select the cells in column A all the way down through row number 11. Now, the next thing that I want to do is hold down the command key here on my Mac, and then I want to go ahead and I want to highlight all of the rows that are in that totals column. Now that we have our data selected, I want to go up to this top ribbon here and go up to Insert, and then I want to click on this little icon here for the chart. After that, I can click on this bar chart here, and then I'm going to select the first one here, which is the clustered column. And there's our chart. It's as simple as that. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at this chart, we can look at the bottom row here, and this is going to be our x-axis, and this is going to display the dates that we're looking at, or the order date. Then when we look at the bars that are being displayed here, what we're seeing here is the total amount that was ordered on those specific dates. When we dig a little bit deeper into the data, we see on 117 that there was multiple orders that happened on the date, and those values are being summed up on this bar here. Now, what if we wanted to show the data a little bit differently, and in this case, maybe we want to show a trend line to show how the total amount purchased has changed over time. To do that, all we have to do is go up here to change chart type, and then what we want to do is click on this line chart and then this first item here. Now, that gave us some output, but it looks a little bit strange. Remember all those days in the data where we didn't actually have any totals or any money that was being spent? Well, that's not actually being displayed properly on the chart that we have here. This is because in the data set, we didn't have a calendar of days and then $0 on the calendar days where there was no purchases. All that our data is really showing us here is the specific days where the purchased amount was greater than 0, and that means we're missing some of the data or we're not representing the data properly. This is a really important call out because when you're working with the data, you could have missing data in the data set, but then when you go ahead and visualize it, the visual is not telling the same story that is representative of that data. So when you're working as a data analyst, it's really important that you know how is the tabular data being viewed, and then how does it actually look when you create that chart, and is it potentially misleading to any of your stakeholders? Now, the next chart that you can switch to is going to be the pie chart, and even though some people don't necessarily like the pie chart all that much, it does have some useful cases, so let's go ahead and show you how to switch to that. When we go ahead and click on this pie icon at the top here, we see that it changes to a pie chart for our data from that line chart. However, it's not really telling us a whole lot of information because there isn't any labels being displayed. But to fix that problem, it's pretty easy. All we have to do is right-click on the chart and add data labels. Now, this is a little bit more helpful, but we still don't necessarily know what those colors mean. To fix that issue, we're just going to navigate to the Excel menus here and click on Chart Design. Next, we'll just click on this drop-down arrow here for the Add Chart element. And next, we'll click on Display the Legend, and we'll have this displayed on the right-hand side. There. Now we know what all these colors mean when we're looking at the pie chart. Now, if we want to change this back to a bar chart, all we have to do is go back up to Chart Design, and then change this chart type, and then select the bar chart again. I'm also going to go ahead and click on this data label here, and then I'm going to right-click to format the data labels, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn some of these values off to make it a little bit easier to read. While we have our chart here, I want to take a step back for a moment, and I want to look at this as if I was a customer that has never seen any of this data before. When we look at this chart, we just see some bars being displayed on it, but we're not really sure what this data is really telling us. So when we're working as a data analyst, we need to be a little bit more explicit to help people understand what is the purpose of the chart and what data are they actually looking at. So more specifically, what we want to do is add a chart title, and then we want to add some data labels to our chart. So to fix that and make the chart more clear, what we want to do is add a title to the chart, and then we want to have some axis labels being displayed as well. The first thing that we want to do is click on this Add Chart Element drop down here, and then we want to add the axis labels, and then we'll select the horizontal label. From there, the next thing we'll do is go back through those motions, and we'll add the vertical label. Now when we look at the chart, we can see that we have a vertical label and then we have a horizontal label, so let's go ahead and rename those. On the vertical label, let's go ahead and name this Total Spend. And then on the horizontal label, let's go ahead and rename this to Transaction Date. Now when we look at the chart, we have a better understanding of what this data is, but we should also go ahead and add this title. In this case, since we're looking at some Amazon transactions data, let's go ahead and call this Total Spend on Amazon by Day. Perfect. So now that the chart's looking good, let's go ahead and add more data to it than just those few sample rows that we started with. To do this, let's go ahead and right-click on the chart, and then let's go over to Select Data. In this window that pops up, we're looking at the horizontal label section, and all we have to do is look for this little icon over here, and we're going to click on that so we can select the data within Excel. To start, we'll go ahead and we'll click on cell A2, and then we'll go ahead and hold down the Command option on my Mac here, and then I'll hit the down arrow. This is going to be the quickest way for me to go ahead and select some of the values for our entire range. Then for those Y values, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to click on cell I2. I'm going to go ahead and hold down the Command option again on my keyboard, and then I'm going to hit the down arrow, and that's going to select all of those values. There. Now we have our chart updated with all of those transaction dates and data.